There we go, everybody. Finally, some in-game content again. You know, Remo, I don't mind talking to you for hours and hours and hours, but having some actual WarCraft here and there is not too bad either.
Absolutely right, especially when these players, the best of Europe, go up against each other. One of the most legendary games that these two have had, Neutron and XlorD, was at the Iron Couch, at the first one, hosted by Take TV, when these two met in the final. And it was a really long tournament, you remember? And I think the final started at like 2 a.m. and then it was a full best of 7. It lasted forever. We were not just casting that tournament, but also casting another tournament from a side room. That was quite the experience for sure. And in the end, it did go to XlorD, but they have been having very close matches against each other throughout their careers. But as mentioned before, the last 2 or so years, XlorD has really pulled ahead, as he's shown in DreamHack before, as he's also shown in Meisterschaft before, where he's the 3-time reigning champion.
Exactly. Neutron here with the Keeper of the Grove, pump fake by XlorD, who wouldn't mind to grab one of these DreamHack championships as well. Wouldn't mind that either. He was in the final once, but since then it was mostly foggy, and XlorD oftentimes getting eliminated by Happy. Last time it was Johnny Cage, so maybe he can go one step further again here in winter. Still supported by Mouseboards, of course. German player, German team, nice fit. So Neutron, he oftentimes said that this is one of his best matchups, and I definitely agree. He has good game plans. Wonder how much the ping affects him here. It's kind of good to see that he's not off racing as Orc again, because in the fall season that didn't look too hot.
Yeah, they're both going to play their main race. They're both going to play standard, and the Keeper going to show up with some good items here. Bonus intelligence, also one of Mana Seek to steal more mana away. Very important last hit right here. Would be a magnificent steal if Neutron could get it, but XlorD secures it very patiently, as he oftentimes is, and closes the surround right after. Neutron tries to get at least a ghoul for his efforts, but perhaps even that shall be denied. He's gonna have to TP out, and XlorD gets the deny on the ghoul. Very nicely done. Almost perfect play by XlorD. Just with a slight little hiccup, he left the item at the first green camp, and the clause of attack is still sitting there.
The police number is 110 in Germany, right?
Players' forces are under attack.
Yep.
I'm gonna have this guy arrested for this capital crime here.
He picked up the ring though, so maybe a preference there. Sold it immediately and grabbed the staff to get out of surrounds if Neutron wants to return the favor. And Snare, creeps are getting involved. Kinda unlucky for Neutron, who's trying to expand here in the bottom.
This is a great read by XlorD. Knowing, of course, the Keeper had to TP back, he would be healing up and creeping very likely after that. The movement here, the timing that he intuitively feels, very nice by XlorD, is making this life for the Keeper quite difficult. Yeah, if you're not harassed, if you're left alone, the Keeper, Archer, and Treants can creep that pretty easily. But if the DK is around, suddenly everything falls apart a little bit.
Good saves on the Wisp though, but yeah, DK is still there and you can't get any progress in on your Keeper of the Grove. Archer numbers are still quite okay. We've seen earlier how Sonic was losing one Archer after the next. Too happy, but so far, I guess 1 or 2 Archers went down. That's okay-ish. On the other side, XlorD finished with his tier 2, Graveyard in time, Nerubian Tower in front of the base to prevent Keeper harass, which is kind of a possibility, but I think the priority is somewhere else and rather defend this Tree of Life.
Yeah, it should certainly be coming up here, but the question is how late is it going to be? Keeper still thirsting for that level 3. And despite the fact that he got level 2 right away, the level 3 is proving to be quite difficult. And perhaps it wasn't the right choice here for Neutron to be aggressive on level 2 already, right at the beginning. Of course, losing that TP didn't help, but normally the strength of the Keeper unfolds once he gets level 3, and he's not focusing on that too much, or perhaps at the wrong time, because when he tried to go for the natural, then the DK was there ready to harass, and XlorD is still creeping with the ghouls, doing a great job of that, and he's the first one to get level 3.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual, isn't it? That the DK surpasses the Keeper of the Grove. Claws of attack for Neutron as well, finally getting the level 3, and then on the way to XlorD's tier 3, there might be a window of opportunity for the Keeper of the Grove to go into the undead base and snipe these acolytes and ghouls.
Against the Neytpoh tower, it's not going to be that easy. And of course, the DK also with the staff is going to be able to teleport back home very swiftly without having to use the TP. This is the norm. This is the standard by now, as Happy has shown many times before. As in fact, we saw earlier today, Demon Hunter needs to start creeping heavily. Neutron knows the tier 3 unit push is going to be coming in soon, and the Demon by then needs to be level 3. And that's a big problem on this map. How the hell is the Demon Hunter going to get to level 3 before the unit starts the attack?
Yeah. You're a big fan of Demon Hunter 3 and boots and everything, but I don't see any of that as XlorD continues the push with only his heroes. Entangle, focus fire on the DK, trying to force a TP or a staff. And that is good damage, but XlorD knows exactly when to retreat. Oh, Nova prior to the mana burn. This is good damage. If only he had that claws of attack, right?
Forces are under attack.
That would have certainly helped. It seems like XlorD still didn't notice that. What Neutron is noticing now, over on the left-hand side at the lab, the Ancient of War is a bit overeager, running into the creep camp already. This camp does a lot of damage, and the Ancient of War falls, and that is more issues for the Demon Hunter for trying to level up to 3.
He kinda prepared one of the Tuskas to be crap, I guess?
I like the hopeful thinking, Neo. Positive mental attitude, always important to have.
See?
Question is, can he tank the damage here with the Demon Hunter? The Moon Juice at the moment is looking okay, but ideally you want to have really full Moon Wells when the unit attacks, because this Demon Hunter is going to be taking the brunt of the damage.
And XlorD is already on tier 3, got the orb. There's a... Oh! Coil coming in once again. A split second prior. Oh, nice item pickup. But is that enough? Looks like it. So, Lionhorn, I like it a lot against Orb of Corruption. Picked it up. No experience for the Lich yet. Really not that powerful. Good experience for the Demon Hunter. If only he could creep that laboratory with ease now.
Yeah, this was actually a pretty good disengage. The Demon Hunter survived this, and also so did all the archers. But everything is kind of hurt. We see a Moonstone, that's a bit of Moon Juice regen, but it's not that much. While XlorD is getting the rest of the experience here from the middle. No big level up for him. And now a Naga or a Tinker Third should be added. It's the Naga, and the push is about to be coming in. Lots of ghouls coming in from the main. 5 ghouls with Frenzy on the way, I imagine. Yes, it is! And Neutron is gonna have a tough task here ahead of him.
Yeah, he's out of position. He has no TP. This will take a long time to get home, ready to be ready for the defense. He didn't really repair either. Tree already at 50%, and there's no repair squad. Is there a Nova ready? Yep, just waiting, just waiting, just waiting. Huh? Not even using it yet as the Demon Hunter is not near. Ghouls take care of these, and Neutron doesn't really know how to engage.
Oh, the Destroyer out of position. Slight mistake by XlorD. This was certainly Miss Micro on the Destroyer. He doesn't know who the Demon Hunter is until he uses the mana burn. Now he knows. DK getting focused right away. Might be forced into a TP here, but the Demon also has to be careful. Couldn't save him in time. No staff, no potion. The Demon goes down, but so does the Destroyer. Maybe the Keeper now with Entangle can do something. But XlorD's army is still so strong. Coil Nova again. Keeper falls. And that's the TP being lost in the early game. The GG is called. And XlorD takes the first map very convincingly.
Yeah, very difficult map 1 here for Neutron. This is kind of what we expected the series to look like, you know, with Neutron not being in Europe. He's playing with a higher ping. He's already going up against somebody who's really good. And that's not the start that he was hoping for there. XlorD was on the money with the harassment. That's really like what allowed him to know everything what was happening, and then that made this push so strong there. If he's not as thorough with preventing the creeping on the expansion against the Keeper and stuff, that would have been different. I do hope that the police gets there soon though, because leaving that clause there, I'm still triggered by that on that first camp. Like, if you're gonna find a claw, you need to pick it up. I only find rings, and I still pick them up, even though I will leave them behind. So,
Todd, I cast enough Microsoft games of yours that I know that you are sometimes blessed by claws and mantles as well. Since you stopped complaining about balance sometimes during the fall season, your karma got a lot better. At the same time, your item drops got a lot better. And this happened to these guys probably as well. But yeah, tough spot. But praise to XlorD as well. He just comes home from work. Probably stressful and long day. Plays the first game of the day and already in a very, very good shape. Yeah, that destroyer. Okay. But apart from that, it all looked pretty good. Good timings, good game plan. Just good stuff.
Yeah. I'm always very impressed when players are just so ready to go, like out of nowhere. I know my first ladder game doesn't count because I'm super rusty every day. Maybe even the first 1.5 ladder games, but doesn't seem to trouble these guys. This was a really clean game by XlorD from the creeping in the beginning to the follow-up attack. It was really straightforward, really quick as well. We're used to seeing Happy and Foggy all the time, duking it out, long games, both reacting to each other perfectly. And I think it comes down mainly to this keeper in the beginning. Running across the map with level 2, even if he doesn't get surrounded there. What is he really achieving? He's still slowing down his level 3 by so much. I guess he was trying to drain the DK's mana. But of course, you know, if you get surrounded, it's a disaster. Having to play from the US isn't making things easier for Neutron, but he's still gonna try here. And, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing something a bit off meta by Neutron. He used to be a big fan of mass air in the past. We have seen it a bit again lately. Why not bust it out here?
Since when are you a fan of cheese?
I would say it is not even that much of a cheese. Like, it's not a strategy where when you see it coming and you know what to do, you instantly win. You can still win with mass air. It's hard if the unit plays perfectly, but if you do it well also, it can work. I wouldn't necessarily call it a straight up cheese, honestly.
All right, then. Let's see where map 2 goes. Will we have yet another day 1 with 2-0 all around? Let's see. XlorD with match points. Tidehunters. There we go, Remo Demo. We got Neutron in the yellow upper left-hand side with already a little bit of a surprise when we look at the position of the Ancient of War. And XlorD and Mousesports red in the bottom right-hand side.
If this was Sonic, I would definitely say Warden. But I don't think I've seen Neutron play Warden ever against Undead. It is the Keeper instead. Once again, investing heavily into the first creep cap. This is going to take some Wisp repair. This is going to slow him down a bit in the tech, but it's going to give him a fast level 2 and a nice item. But this camp does quite a bit of damage, so he might even need 2 Wisp repair. And it's also a bit dangerous. If the Acolyte scouts this early, the DK shows up, throws out some coils. This is a bit risky.
Will XlorD scout it? He has the Acolyte in the 12 o'clock position, far away from where the creeping is happening. But of course he will scout the natural, he will scout the other orange, and then he knows that there's only one other option. Fingers crossed for Neutron that he's not losing his second Engine of War to creeps as well.
Yeah, that was quite painful. We see that on Northern Islands actually a lot. The creep aggro there is weird when eating through the trees. And that camp always does a lot of damage. Double Wisp repair is what's required here, so this is somewhat costly, but worth it, I guess, in the eyes of Neutron. DK comes out with the ghouls, starting to creep right away. Wait a minute, is he going for the same camp? No, he's running across the map to harass. I'm not sure if he's going to be in time, though.
Well, the Acolytes lures the Murlocs in. Last hit and Crystal Ball for Neutron. Acolyte didn't get a steal yet. That is level 2. Yeah, he's a tiny bit too late. At least for level 2, but not for the rest of the camp. Just once. Okay. Looked like he wanted to
entangle, surround. Oh, okay, not quite. Would have been hard to hold, though, with the ghouls here. Seems like XlorD misreading the situation a bit. Perhaps he wasn't quite aware of that creep route from the Night Elf and thought he would be faster there than he actually ended up being. And this puts Neutron nicely ahead. He's got a full level lead right now, although XlorD can catch up quickly with the ghouls, especially against these medium armor creeps in the middle of the map.
Yeah, there was wasted time, as it seems, and now Shu is on the other foot, maybe, where Neutron is trying to steal camps from XlorD side of the base. These turtles, very susceptible to normal damage, of course. More scouting from XlorD sees, okay, tier 2 again. Neutron has a Wisp in the northern side for maybe go for another expansion. just as we saw on map 1. Now it's time for the staff. Both want it. Who gets it? Should be XlorD with the ping advantage, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that's definitely a big disadvantage you have there when you play with a higher ping from the US. That battle will never go to you. And XlorD gladly picks up that item. Neutron would have loved to have it as well, but at least he's going to get more experience unless there's a coil last hit. Oh, that would have been big. But Neutron gets it. Gauntlets of Auger Strength. The items so far for the Russian, not really the greatest.
No, but you know, sell value of items was increased in one of the most recent patches, so at least he gets a little bit of gold, and maybe that finances his expansion in the end. And then he gets even more gold, and then he can buy all the items he wants from the marketplace.
And the Expo is coming up. Very well protected between the natural and the main. This one certainly shouldn't be getting cancelled. Nice saves there as well by Neutron, by the way. With a beautiful double archer block. Saved that one archer, kept her alive. And XlorD is still struggling hard with experience. Now finally sending out the ghouls. It's not quite enough for level 2 yet, though, I believe.
Archers on the other side continue creeping, as you said. Treants expire. No, me neither. Neutron is not harassing this, which is interesting.
Yeah, with the one Murloc in the north here, he actually does get enough. And now sees the Tree of Life. But 900 HP, that one should be safe. Wisps are somewhat close by for the detonate. Neutron can certainly not afford to lose this one.
Are they nearby? I'm not too sure. This one is on the high ground. Here comes one. That's a little bit more damage than you initially wanted. It can be sniped with the coil. He
no,
can't
Neutron.
be too sure.
Oh no, don't tell me he loses this Tree of Life just to skeletons. That's never supposed to happen. The Wisp comes in, huge detonate. Okay.
The
Wisp to
coil.
the rescue, but that was closer than it needed to be.
You know, he can eat one of his tree friends and then heal up and waddle over, and there's wisps for even more repair. And XlorD was nice enough to help with the creeping, so he doesn't even have to wait for that.
Players' forces are under attack.
And the Keeper this time is going to get level 3 quite fast. Double gauntlets. Honestly, these are actually pretty decent for the Demon Hunter,
Yeah.
but certainly Mantle for the early game is what you would prefer. Gloves. Yeah, these are not the greatest items, but whatever. XlorD taking to tier 3 in the meantime. Lich is coming, standard build, Fiend transition. Ghoul's now moving out to creep, and he needs to catch up on levels. This DK needs to get level 3 ASAP.
Players' forces are under attack.
Azap?
ASAP.
Azap Rocky. Yeah.
Like the great rapper. ASAP Rocky, or also Azad from Frankfurt.
Wow, that caught me by surprise, that German rap references here. I guess people approve. Some of them, at least. Well, WarCraft is very rock heavy, right? So maybe not.
Haven't you been telling me that the rock scene has been struggling for like the last 15 years or something?
There's a little bit of a resurgence thanks to Machine Gun Kelly, though.
Wait, isn't he a rapper?
Players'
He
forces
was.
are
Now
under
he's doing
attack.
pop punk.
And then he got dissed by Eminem, and then he noticed, all right, there's no sense in this anymore. Let's do rock.
Actually, kinda. That's kinda how the timeline worked. Yeah.
But the Keeper looking for some kills here is definitely gonna get one Acolyte. This one will be remade after a while, but not yet. Got one Acolyte, got one Ghoul. That's pretty nice. Gets out with a staff very easily. In the meantime, the Demon Hunter creeping up at the lab. Battleground strength is really good for him. Does he still have the gauntlets? Oh, he does. This Demon Hunter is gonna have a lot of bonus health if he gives those over.
Oh man, and I've seen so many Happy vs. Foggy games that I know how many Coil Nova will be ending up on the Demon Hunter. He's going for that DK. Oh, so close! Prioritize the focus on the enemy hero. And that was the level up. But good harass by Neutron. In general, his game plan seems very, very well. It's like on the pulse of meta.
Yeah, I like his position here. This is looking pretty damn good for him. We're gonna have mass rides coming out soon. XlorD's levels still a little disappointing. And this largely comes all down to the early game.
Yeah.
The decision to run across the map and then get hardly any XP and then be far behind in experience the whole game basically until this point. But now XlorD is hitting his power spike. He's got the orb. He's got... Does he have Frenzy coming? No, actually not. He might be skipping it here, so... honestly, the 50 supply timing is still a little bit off, and Neutron has more time to produce more Dryads.
The frenzy timing on Northern Isles was also a little late, I think, compared to the normal timing. But yeah, this is looking good. It was a nice little exchange a couple of seconds ago. Did you see that? The Demon Hunter found a mantle, and then he met with the Keeper of the Grove, and they exchanged items here. 2 gauntlets for 1 mantle. It's like the Settlers von Catan. Of Catan. By Catan? Something with Catan.
A player's forces
Yeah,
are
of
under
Catan, I think.
attack.
We talked about that the other day. Great game. Yeah, sharing is caring. Wonderful. Also, what I saw just in the middle, and I missed that a moment ago, there's a Fiend corpse in the middle. So there must have been a missed rally. And XlorD lost 1 Fiend on top of the other units, and this is looking a bit rough for him. He's still not quite ready to fight. He found a pendant, which is great. He's getting Scourge Bone Chunks, which is trash. But Neutron has so much time to creep and produce before the first fight.
Yeah, his creep route is really something special. When do you ever see the opening he did at the bottom left, and when do you ever see a Night Elf creep this so early? Like, yeah, down the road in the very, very late game when there's nothing else, but usually consumables in the bottom red spot is what you got. And can someone calculate this EHP with evasion 2, 1200 HP and 7.5 armor?
Look at those hit points. 1225.
Yeah, it's a lot of hit points.
Dude, I would love for him to just buy a ring, any ring, from the marketplace. That would boost up his EHP by so much as well.
A ring of
This
regen?
is gonna be... Alright, Mr. Smarty Pants!
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is gonna be a super tough to bring down Demon Hunter. Neutron is looking really good in this game.
The Lich is looking good as well, or will be looking good, and I think XlorD realizes as well, like, my timing is long gone. I have to look for something else, and that is an expansion. Bottom left-hand side, got the Sack Skull. But there was a Wisp, right? Neutron saw it. And,
Yeah,
oh
he did.
yeah, did he see it?
He's coming over with a nice timing. Lich hits level 3. That one is quite strong. DK, not level 4 yet. Level 4 is such a huge level up for the DK, basically always. But again, because of the slow early game, he's not there yet. And that's a problem. Problem also for the Keeper is the nuke. He doesn't have those health items. The Keeper's very squishy. Oh my goodness. One more coil and he's dead. The DK could be chasing here. Keeper has to be super careful, but the Death Knight not quite following all the way through. Next heal scroll committed. The Demon Hunter still feeling large and in charge. Scroll of the Beast used, but instantly dispelled with so many Dryads. That's no problem. XlorD is trying to buy time, extend this fight until the tower is standing, and then maybe he can hold the extra.
But usually the longer the fight goes, the better it is for the Night Elf because, obviously, of mana burn. And we see it here now. If there's no coils anymore, the damage is adding up. Poison damage stacks. Nice for Neutron to have reveal. Something that lower level Night Elves tend to forget recently. Tower still long from being up, and the Dryads might be able to take down the Haunted Goldmine in the end.
Explorer coming in a bit late. This is another double kill for Neutron. Look at all these kills he's getting. And the Demon Hunter is getting a good amount of solo experience from this because the Keeper is too far away because he's so hurt. Now he's walking in. Keeper, be careful. You can't be here, my friend. You still got the TP, though. The
Yeah, I
Haunted
think-
wasn't cancelled. If Neutron had committed in for the Haunted, maybe he could have gotten it. He's summoning the Treants now off to the side. Is it still in time? We'll see. Lich is dropping low as well, but he's got the heal potion.
Narrow
I
tower
think
up
he has
as
the
well.
time. He should have the time to get this Haunted.
Yeah, and then TP out. He's burning another coil, so nothing will be nuked here, except the Lich, maybe. Look at this. All of a sudden, there was a little bit of healing. Dryad still throwing their spears. Did he calculate this correctly? I doubt it! But Neutron knows better and kicks that Haunted Goldmine. Oh, wow. That was a lot of fiends and a lot of time gained for Neutron, who could now maybe even go for tier 3?
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, I think it would have been a nice play during that push right away to go tier 3 because if you don't, you're going to be stuck on Dryads. And right now they're pretty good. They're great especially for fighting offensively. For fighting aggressively into Blight and into towers, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. And if XlorD gets the expansion up, and he's got like a 60-70 supply army against just pure Dryads, he will win this game, pretty surely. So Neutron is putting himself on a bit of a timer here as well.
We had to wait a little bit for this match, but now these players are delivering. But you know, as good as the situation is for Neutron, There's always something that could tip the scale, and that is Coil Nova on a hero. If one of these Night Elf heroes dies, it might be the end, especially the Demon Hunter, but how is this guy supposed to die? He's level 5, which is such an important level, and I really love, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but the Keeper, of course, being so hurt, had to be kept out of the fight. There was a lot of solo experience for the Demon Hunter, and now that's a 150 mana burn coming XlorD's way.
Dryads again looking for some kills. They're still missing the second armor upgrade, which is kind of a big deal. You want to make sure you have as much armor on them as you can, because you can see the Fiend Focus Fire is painful. Giga gets level 5 as well. Entangle on him. Destroyer Dispel trying to get him out of there. Doesn't want to have to TP away from the expansion. And the Focus Fire against the Dryads with that Nerve Tower is so strong. And look at the Nerve against the Demon.
Destro.
He's got a tough time catching up to anything.
Destro down though. That's level 4 on the Keeper, and that Meat Wagon is very, very exposed. Keeper chasing for it on the other side. We got Demon Hunter Dryads versus Fiends, and the Fiends win that fight for now. And Yuri, Neutron taking a step back, allowing XlorD this expansion for now, but now turning around. Okay, we still got staffs and potions. Neutron can continue to fight.
Yeah, I like the play here by Neutron. He's, first of all, buying time for third base and expansion, and also trading out Dryads, which is what you want to do. You don't want to go into 80 versus 80 or 100 versus 100 with mass Dryads. You want to rotate them out and get value out of them while you can, because they're going to be super weak later.
What is up, Remo, with XlorD's Destroyer Micro today? That was the third one that was basically donated to Neutron due to positioning.
A player's forces are under
Yeah, we
attack.
definitely see some mistakes there. I can understand only too well how easy it is to have Destroyers out of position, but normally XlorD displays that a bit better. But now look at the Meat Wagon go. And this Disease Cloud, like a couple of shots, and these Dryads are all gonna have to run soon.
Couldn't he snipe it relatively quickly with the Dryads? And of course there's no damage on the Fiends, but at some point you gotta prioritize. Disease Cloud everywhere, and looks like we don't have Reveal anymore. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
he's got the lab still to use. There we go. That's another kill, but he's taking so much damage right now. We still see reinforcing Dryads. I would love to see Bears here rather, but he's still making Dryads. He teched to tier 3, but he's not going for Bears. That's very surprising.
Well, you know, there's a lot of good arguments for the Night Elf tier 3 even without Bears. Staff, Orb, Moonwell upgrade, maybe even Mountain Giants. But yeah, so far XlorD holds on, XlorD survives, but Entangle more and more and more. Should Neutron, like, is it a smart choice by Neutron to continue this fight, or should he rather step back and, hatch his Expo?
I think it's good. As I said, I think you want to trade out these Dryads as much as you can, and also perhaps he realized that there was only 3 Acolytes in the gold mine for a long time. Treants are still harassing, more Acolytes going down. I think Neutron is doing this really well.
Yeah.
I think his transition into tier 3 was a bit too late, but other than that, I really like his play.
Man, this is a lot more struggle for XlorD than I thought it would be. And there's no mining going on at the expansion for the German. He's pushing now, but no mana except the potion on the DK. Still a very, very good Lich who's inches away from level 5, and that Engine of War gives XP, so you gotta deal with Coil 3, Nova 3 now.
It's gonna be so good against Bears. Those always clump up naturally, and then a Nova hitting them. That's an 8-second slow on units. 4 seconds on heroes. And there we see the Coil Nova right away. Demon Hunter, plus 11 strength. Really good. We mentioned it over and over because it's just true. Takes him a couple of rejuves to get healed up again, but he is the frontline tank that needs to be this survivable. But look at the Dryads. That was the Disease Cloud. Half of them are running into this fight with half HP.
And there's no heal scroll. These might be the mistakes that cost him the game in the long run. But XlorD sees he has to TP out. He wants to TP out. If he gets that wagon, that's a good pickup by Neutron. But yeah, he has to heal a bit. Gets heal scrolls. Sneaky little sentry ward in these flowers, plants, whatever that is. Very hard to see.
Yes, he has great vision of the middle. He has great vision of the enemy natural. But he hasn't scouted the bottom left yet. Perhaps XlorD doesn't consider at all the possibility of a third base. And that could be a neck breaker in the end, because that's just so many resources that Neutron is gathering over time. He can afford to be fairly cost inefficient, with this triple basing.
Will we see a Curl Nova on this Demon Hunter, or will he realize it's just a fake? Nope. Gets the Nova onto the real one, gets the Fiend in position for the block. Sweet plays for the German Meister. And that Demon Hunter took a lot more damage than he expected to, and now more and more Moon Juice during daytime.
XlorD building a big army now. Neutron also supplies pretty even, but the upgrades for Neutron are really good. That's always the big late game Night Elf advantage. Your upgrades scale amazingly between Dryads, Bears, and possibly even Chims and Fairies. And now we go in again. No Nova at the moment, so these Bears don't die super fast, but against the Destroyers, I guess it's fast enough. DK out of mana already, but double mana potion is available. Entangle trying to do its best. The Bears do connect against the Fiends, and the damage is significant. Burrow coming in, perhaps a bit too late, but the Dryads also in the back, dying super fast.
64 supplies still against 52. XlorD pushing forward. Bears just disappear. 3 Destroyers now in the air, plus the 2 statues. Level 6 for XlorD. I wouldn't mind see Ray's dead, actually, but I guess there's no mana for that anymore. More and more Burrows, Fiends, not in this fight anymore, but what do you do against these 3 Destroyers? He never had an answer to that.
Yeah, this is where the late game Hippogriffs are missing, in my opinion. In the late game, you want to have a lot of Bears and a lot of Hippos and not too many Dryads. Keeper in trouble, was ready to use the nuke right there, but a nice mana burn prevents the next Nova. DK getting focused. Next, he doesn't have a TP, but he does have a health stone that makes him pretty survivable. Demon Hunter getting surrounded.
Whoops.
Has to be staffed out. Could use his own staff, actually.
Wants it a little more comfortable, wants to be sent home by the Keeper, or just fight out. Going for the Entangle on the Lich. That opens up the surround. With 3 units, it's not possible to hold it closed. But XlorD still pressing forward. Wouldn't mind seeing a counter expansion if he can afford it. Neutron has 2,000 gold, Remo!
I just saw it as well. Oh my goodness. Not able to spend his money all this time, and you know, he was in 3 bases here for quite some time. Just having 2 lords simply isn't enough.
Yeah.
He could have slapped down 2 Ancients of Wind after that and could have still supplied all of that. And could have also gone for more upgrades, to be honest. The macro here for Neutron seriously slipping in the late game. And that might be what breaks his neck in the end.
Yeah. Keeper is also not looking good, but the mana is good night. That's curtains. Orb gone. Crowd control gone. Access to the tavern non-existent. Oh, poor Neutron. That game was so well played. But in the end, if you don't spend your gold that you work so hard for, it's all for nothing.
The Lich now on a spider diet, eating plenty of fiends here with a Dark Ritual. He's got lots of mana still left. He could even use Death and Decay, especially against buildings. Can be very effective. He's waiting for the Demon Hunter to run in. XlorD aware of the fact of how strong he is right now. Looks terrifying with his basically perfect late game Underdark.
Oh yeah. Second Abomination. Not even using the normal damage on the tree, because he just knows I can clobber it down with fiend shots. And here's the 3rd base for XlorD, getting further and further ahead. What keeps Neutron in this game is purely desperation.
A silent ray of hope, perhaps visible somewhere. We see the rays of light emerging from the Altar of Elders again, as we're waiting for the Keeper, Mr. Ogma, to come back. But the Keeper is not a hero who does well in playing from behind. Needs to be playing from ahead, in fact, especially in the late game where his spells are simply underwhelming. And so are the Dryads. I think that was the biggest problem for Neutron this game. Transitioning too late into Bears and too late into tier 3. Misreading, I think, the timing of this game. And here we see it. Hey, the first ultimate of the tournament. Death and Decay to get rid of these buildings.
Wonderful. 1 ultimate on day 1. Not great for Neutron. Can't really do anything. Moonwolves will fall as well. If you ask me, his biggest problem was to hoard 2,000 gold.
Yeah, that may have also been a bit of a little issue. That's true. So Eternity running into the Death and Decay. Look at how much damage he's taking. Jesus Christ.
It's percentage based, so for a 2,000 HP building, a lot.
Kudos to Neutron, still trying his best here, but this is beyond hopeless now. Dropping down to hardly any supply. Neutron will be dropping to the lower bracket to play against Starshape. in the coming... No, that's not true, actually.
Jesus,
To
Remo.
play against Starship Toys in the coming days. Keeper is back, gets nuked again. Let's get to level 7. All right. And it is GG.